Trevor Mbija to Citizen TV Kenya. Use the hashtag Daybreak. Morara, I'll start with you. What is the state of the nation in your view this morning as a young person?
The nation is a crime scene. Kenya is a crime scene, needs to be closed for investigations because nothing is clear. Beginning with public debt, there is over 6 trillion that is unaccounted for. At the treasury, there is 6 billion that was supposed to buy telecom shares that's missing. If money is not missing, the one that has been spent through corrupt means, and it has been lost. So the state of the nation this morning, politically speaking and in terms of governance, I would say that we are in a worse situation than we were before, and something needs to be done about it, and there needs to be a whole overhaul of the system and in terms of how things are done. So there's need to be more prudence in the use of public funds. For instance, if I give you an example, yesterday I was at the Ikumbi road, which the president launched in July 2023. I was shocked to find that nothing has been done on the road. And more worse, when I checked the records, I found that Ken has spent 2.3 million shillings on just the day the president launched that road. So just to set up the tent and everything. So for all this money to be spent without anything coming out of it, and the place is very agricultural productive, it is a sad situation. So I feel very sad about how our money is being used, more especially our money, how it is being utilized, how it's being wasted, how it's being stolen and stashed abroad. It's mind-boggling. It makes me some loose sleep at night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crime scene. Where do you think this clarity should come from? Is it from the people, from those in power, and what should they do to clear the air, from your perspective?
I think our country has been captured. It has been captured by politicians, both inside and outside of government, and foreign interests, to the extent that the president seems to be helpless and to be a big part of it, because I cannot understand why most of the things he says or does, he's unable to follow through to them. For example, in the height of the Gen Z protests, the president came on live television and said that there will be no more church harambes. The next weekend, he was in church doing a harambe, meaning now there is a big disconnect between him, or rather the political class, and the truth. They are no longer friends. They are not working in the same direction. The president also said that he's going to have a more lean government. When I heard of a more lean government, I expected that when he announces his cabinet, he will reduce the ministries, maybe from 21 to around 14. Because some ministries clearly can be merged into others. For example, the Ministry of East African Community Affairs can merge into the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The Ministry of Public Service can be done by the head of civil service and the Public Service Commission. I expected that there was going to be a whole turnaround of events, and that His Excellency the President actually meant well. But in my view, we are back to square one. Nothing has been achieved. All that was said was a lie. And I wonder then now, how do we proceed from here? Because you see, the leader of government and the head of state is the president. Before we even talk about all other governance structures, the president has to have the vision and the best interests of the country at heart for anything to move forward. But if everything he says never comes to pass, and all he has done now is to form a broad-based government, which now I call the bread-based government, of politicians coming together to now strategize how to finish us completely. It is a sad situation, but it is expected, because when we said that we are going to audit the public debt, or we are going to be very serious about pursuing corruption, we should have known that corruption will fight back. So personally, I'm in a state of distress as regards to what can be done about our nation. I believe Kenyans have an opportunity to do something about it, either through peaceful protest or in the ballot.
Yeah.
And that is why I've been at the forefront of trying to do very serious civic education to Kenyans to try and make people understand in the deepest parts of the villages how corruption is affecting them, so that when it comes to 2027, people can make wiser decisions.
Yeah.
I hope they will.
But young people believe that politics is dirty, in as much as that is where the decisions are being made. When you say that the changes are being made at the ballot, will the young people present themselves for those opportunities, and will the other young people even elect them to begin with?
The problem is that, as I've told you, we have a state of state capture. Our political institutions have been captured, beginning with our political parties. Right now, if you need an ODM ticket, there's no way of getting it without buying it. No, and it's not cheaper than 10 million. So where will this young person who has just been employed, who has never had a job, who has a small business in town, where are they going to get this 10 million from to buy a ticket? The same with other political parties, even in UDA. Now, you need an amazing amount of money to even become a member of parliament. At the bare minimum, around 30 million to 50 million to become a member of parliament. This is money that the young people cannot afford, except the wash dealers. So then now, the words of Honorable Fred Matiang'i are coming to pass, that now we are laundering into our elective institutions criminals of international repute, because they are the ones with the money to run for political election. So there is need for a complete turn of events and a changeover of the system for it to give the young people an opportunity, because even those positions that were created to bring inclusion, for example, the nominated seats, you can see the kind of people that are being nominated to those seats. I need not say, but they are not known for their intelligence.
Because you're doing some stuff in online. Let's try one right now so that we discuss with the people here what they understand from it.
Yes.
Go.
Watu wa Kenya hamjambo. Hamjambo tena. Mimi nilikuja hapa Kajiado mwaka wa 2018. Ni kweli si kweli? Si mimi nilikuja hapa na huyu gavana wenu Ole Lenku. Mimi niliweka hii mradi ya All Kajiado University. Sasa hii nimerudi tena. Hii ni 2024. Sasa nimekuja kuangalia, nimepata hakuna kitu. Nimepata geti imeenda na fence imeenda. Sasa nataka niwaeleze na nataka mnisikize vizuri. Kwa hii finance bill inakuja, sasa nitaweka pesa ingine 1.2 billion ya kazi hawa vijana na hawa mama mboga na hawa watu makanga na hawa vinyozi na wale wabeba. Sasa hawa wote wanaweza kufaidika kutoka kwa hii mradi ya All Kajiado University. Ni kweli si kweli? Sijui kama tunaelewana. Siku kijengwa university hapa kutakuwa na kazi ya hawa vijana, na sikutakuwa na watu ya bodaboda ya kubeba watu hapa, na sikutakuwa na mama mboga ya kuuza chakula. Nyinyi watu wa Kajiado mnasemaje? Salale. Kweli nyinyi ni watu mmejielewa.
It's interesting when you bring that up. So, and these are actual things that you go and check. And
Yes,
see whether
I was at Kajiado University.
Okay.
I walked on the grass. I stood at the stone where the president launched. Very sad. Imagine how much was spent in fuel, how much was spent in people going there setting up tents, and there is nothing. Trevor, nothing with capital letters. Nothing means nothing. There is no borehole, there is no fence, there is nothing. Even the gate that was there on the day of the launch is not there. And this is a project that was launched in 2018. Which year are we in? 2024. Sasa tunafanya nini?
6 years.
All right.
It's a crime scene.
Yeah. So Morara, how do we get ready for this change that you so passionately spoke about? You said that we are at the morning sickness stage. So how do we deliver this baby?
Everyone, beginning with the youth who are in studio with you today, yourself, your camera people, the cleaner of this station, the parking boys, the watchmen, every single Kenyan needs to take an opportunity to first educate themselves. Let's not be lazy. Let's not be intellectually lazy. The first thing we need to do, every Kenyan should read the Constitution. You see, the Bible has been translated to all local languages, but not the Constitution. We need the Constitution to be translated to all local languages. And we need every single person, wherever they are. You don't have to do much. Truthfully speaking, you are only a very small part of this whole thing. You are just a sand on a seashore. But the little that you do combined is a lot. The first thing is we need to arm ourselves with knowledge. For example, if we just do a spot check here on studio, how many of us have read the Auditor General's report for the financial year 2022-2023? Me have been translating it for people on TikTok and educating people. For example, yesterday at night, I could not find sleep. And I decided to check the Auditor General's report on Nuno Modegashe Road. And I found that a contractor was paid 83 million for free just because his payment was late. I also found that he was paid 525 million on top of what he was supposed to be paid to do the road, which was 7 billion. Aliongezewa another 525 million for nothing. That one, even the Auditor General is saying they cannot trace it, they don't know where it went, it is loss of public funds. If we don't arm ourselves with knowledge, we will not be able to slay the dragon of lack of ethics, lack of integrity, and lack of good governance. We need the knowledge. And those of us who are able to dissect this knowledge should break it down for the people. For example, some of the bills that have been passing in Parliament are dangerous for this nation. We have bills now being introduced to prevent us from planting our own crops. So we need people with knowledge to now start disseminating that knowledge to the youth, beginning with social media, mainstream media, and even in citizen barazas. And don't expect to be paid for it. Don't ask money for it. Take it as a civic duty. Just say, I have my 8 to 5 job. I'm going to spare 10 minutes every day to educate one person or 2 people. Let's spread it like the gospel. So that by the time the nation is well informed, because you cannot do change to a citizenry that doesn't understand what this change is about. There is something we call Stockholm Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome is when the victim has sympathetic feelings towards the abuser. It's like taking a woman who has gone through an abusive marriage out of the marriage. You find her saying, if he doesn't slap me, I don't feel like he loves me. That is now where the Kenyans have reached. We've gone through so much pain that we are now at emotional fatigue and Stockholm Syndrome. We need to arm ourselves with knowledge and make sure that my parents in the village are well informed. My neighbor is informed. My driver is informed. My house help is informed. Once we have an informed population, we will stop electing idiots. That's number one. Number two, we will take charge of our citizen affairs. In fact, we will do oversight.